one question about the state of California. How can we help people see the truth? When the man sitting in front of you got the highest affordability rate in the country, crime, taxes, energy crisis, no water in the fire hydrants when a wildfire takes place. And that's just the start off the top of my head. We got people in California. The man was recalled not once, but twice. They tried to recall him as the governor. And I'm not saying that to insult Gavin Newsom. I understand that he deserves our respect, and I'm not here for that. Right. I'm simply making the point. You have the governor of California in front of your face for nearly 2 hours, and they have millions of people in the state that have a real problem with how he's governing. Mm-hmm. And he's sitting in front of you. And we're hearing story about how Stephen Jackson had his own day and how they rock with him. And they laughing, and when things get serious, it's because he's insulting Trump. But you got your own record that's questionable.
You don't like when you call him to the carpet, Stephen A. The hypocrisy. How dare Stephen A. ask a question that goes against the democratic machine? One more, then we're going to get this started.
I said, listen to this quote, politics. I wish for one election that every black person would vote Republican. Why can you say that? I said, it's simple. Since 1964, the black folks, we have been giving our vote to the Democratic Party at an exorbitant rate. Therefore, they know they got our vote, and they don't have to cater to us as much as we need them to.
He partially wrong, majority right. Democrats ain't giving y'all shit. Y'all just been giving up the vote. My grandmama used to say to my cousins, don't bring your ass in this house with a wet and dry pockets. Well, that's what the Democrats been doing to y'all. Y'all just giving it up and ain't getting nothing in return. But Stephen A. wrong for saying that. No. See? Listen with your ears and process with your brain, not your feelings.
I've had people literally say, black people don't fuck with you. You've betrayed your race. We don't want to fuck with you. Cam, those people can never come back in my life. I'm gonna look in that camera. They can go to hell. They can never come back. Because to know me, that cut deep. I almost lost my career because I look out. I cannot count the amount of times I put my ass on the line for us.
Don't worry, Stephen A., I feel you. It's kind of like when you're in the streets and you out here messing up, and then you decide to start doing better for yourself. You start to see the world for what it really is and how it really works. You start to elevate, and then people think you acting funny. People like to say you switched up. We see it all the time, Stephen A. I had this argument. Let me tell you who I had this argument about. I had this argument with people from Long Beach about Snoop Dogg all the time. Fuck, y'all think Snoop supposed to be on the block? Oh, y'all think it's cool to tell Snoop how to spend his money? Come with the territory, Snoop. Stephen A. It's part of the game, baby. That's how you elevate. They explain to you about elevation. That's why I'm prepared for it when it happens. When you fucking up, ain't nobody got nothing to say about you. But when you doing right, that's when all the negative shit come out. That's when they paying attention to you. When you blending in, it's all good. But once you start to separate yourself from the pack, that's when the haters come out. The wolves come out. That's when the envy come out. They got this crazy thing that they say in the hood. I used to say it too. Jesus Christ. I never lived by it though. I'm naturally a disruptor. I don't take directions well. Maybe it's my ADD. Nobody's bigger than the program. We's free. I don't like that program. I gotta do what you say do, because you old. I gotta do what you say do, because you've been here longer. Carry on, Stephen A. Keep telling us.
Remember, everybody want to look at this contract. That contract was signed in 2025. I've been in the business since 1993. I've been repeatedly underpaid. Repeatedly, I had challenges. I got fired, dog. Fired. People look at me and they say, oh, he tight with the damn Sean Hannity and I being tight ain't got nothing to do with politics. It got everything to do with the fact that when everybody else had turned their back on me, that motherfucker went to war.
Me and Stephen A. don't agree on, well, we agree on more than we disagree. Let's put it like that, but we don't agree on everything. But let me tell you one thing I commend about Stephen A. Smith. No matter what Stephen A. went through, no matter how many times he got fired, no matter how many times people turned their back on him, no matter how much bad stuff people say about Stephen A., I commend Stephen A. because Stephen A. has never blamed his downfalls or shortcomings on race. When Stephen A. runs into an issue, Stephen A. puts his head down and he grinds. Stephen A. says, which say the same shit all the time. This is why I like certain people. I like certain people that I can see myself in, see attributes about. Stephen A has the same mindset that I have, that most black people have. They just don't want to acknowledge it. You can be smarter than me, you can be bigger than me, you can be faster than me, but you are not going to out-grind me. When all fails, I know I can depend on my grind. Shout out to Stephen A. Go ahead, Stephen A.
Ain't that person. When you talk about the industry, you understand? Now, you got a lot of people that I said up there, and Stephen, black people? Yeah. Stephen A, damn, it's fucked up. What happened to you? Oh, that's bad. They got their own platforms, and when it's time for them to speak up, it's crickets. But see, cats get brave now that it's popular, but I was doing it when it wasn't popular. And it's like the whole Colin Kaepernick thing. People was giving me hits for that. Let's go back to that for a second, because I'm just using this as nuggets of examples to highlight that. What I'll do instead is say, hey, that you want to take a knee. Who the hell is going to refute or argue with that? You taking a knee on behalf of us? Police brutality going on in the streets of America? Thank you. But there's a caveat with all of that. This is National Football League. All of them owners, ain't none of them black. It's a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate. And they're going to make sure they ain't comfortable with that. So now we got to have a decision. How important is your voice in terms of its utilization? Is it with you wearing an NFL uniform? Or is it with you out on your own? We got to deduce what level of importance that is.
Rewind for a second. Let's go back to that time. Let's go back to before we found out George Floyd, before we found out that George was on the pokey, before we found out that the BLB, Black Lives Matter chicks, was running up that money and bossing up with it. Until it gets brought up again, how many times a day do you think people really think about how Colin Kaepernick sacrificed his NFL career to take a knee for some shit he didn't even know the full story about? While y'all was out burning up y'all communities that couldn't recover from the community being burnt down, he sacrificed millions of dollars. While you guys donated millions of dollars to scammers behind a drug addict who couldn't shut the fuck up when the police got him. Now, not condoning what the goof-ass cop did. Every action, there's a reaction. I don't hear enough people saying that if he wasn't fucked up, that situation wouldn't have been fucked up. Little accountability, paid in full. Cameron, die every day, B. Get fucked up to be Colin Kaepernick and have to think like, damn, the chicks who were scamming people on BLM made more, if not equal to, the amount of money I lost by actually taking the knee, and nobody gives a shit now. Sometimes you ain't got to be a martyr. I think your family and your lineage would have appreciated that money that you were supposed to make, that you lost out on, way more. But it's logical. It's not emotional. Stephen A.
Wants to talk to me, wants me to help him. She's just looking for just a tryout. Because we all know, not only did I say he was blackballed, I didn't say he was blackballed in my cocoon surrounded by a bunch of us. I went on national television and said it. I didn't say it just on ESPN. Jay-Z works in concert with Roger Goodell. They get a tryout. These folks want one team, but no team wanted to step up. What did I say? I said, it's over. It was nice seeing him. He will never play in the NFL again. People in an uproar.
Oh, I like it. Stand on your square, Stephen A. Can we just talk about this? It's the hate. See, if you would have rocked with him then, you got to rock with him now. Only difference is he got a little bit of bread. A little more yaper. A little more chili. Nah, I like it. I don't apologize, Stephen A. You work for it. You grind for it. What you going to apologize for? And you speaking your truth. I commend a man who speaks his truth. Like I said, I ain't got to agree with him all the time. But I'm going to agree more than I disagree with. He got out the mud. He put in the hours. He created the separation. Quoting Kobe again. He's an example of the marathon continuing. Quote Nipsey again. I fucks with Stephen A. Y'all want to see more of this interview, please go check out Cam. Was it Funky Fridays that this was on? Or with man, go type in Cam Newton, man. Give props to Cam Newton. Big props to Stephen A. Smith. Oh my Johnny, subscribe, share, follow.